Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. We have got another major WNBA story to break down because this situation has fans talking everywhere. A'ja Wilson is giving Olivia Miles massive praise, and many fans are already comparing that reaction to how Caitlin Clark has been treated. According to those fans, it's the kind of public respect and excitement they feel Caitlin Clark rarely received from some of the biggest names around the league. That is why this debate keeps getting bigger. A lot of people believe Caitlin Clark changed the WNBA forever. They argue she helped bring record-breaking attention, larger audiences, sold-out arenas, bigger sponsorships, and even helped make private jet travel a reality for players. Yet, despite all of that, critics say she continues to receive far more negativity than appreciation. Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers and Olivia Miles seem to receive a much warmer welcome, with fans claiming they get the red carpet treatment while Caitlin Clark constantly faces criticism. Now, another conversation is exploding online. Some fans believe the WNBA and several players have spent the last 2 seasons pushing back against Caitlin Clark instead of fully embracing her popularity. Whether you agree with that or not, one thing is impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark has become one of the most polarizing figures in professional basketball. Adding even more fuel to the fire, Caitlin Clark has reportedly been hearing boos during player introductions, leaving many fans asking the same question. Has Caitlin Clark gone from being the league's biggest star to becoming its biggest villain? We're going to break down everything A'ja Wilson said about Olivia Miles, examine why fans are making these comparisons, and dive into the growing controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark. Right here with what A'ja Wilson had to say about Olivia Miles. Okay, A'ja Wilson has high praise for Olivia Miles. This is what she had to say. A'ja Wilson said, "You're a star, for real, you're a star. You're going to have a really good career in this league." Now, I don't remember A'ja Wilson ever saying anything like this to Caitlin Clark. I remember A'ja Wilson being jealous and butthurt that Caitlin Clark's shoes were going to come out. I just remember her being jealous and butthurt about Caitlin Clark's sneakers and going on a whole victim campaign crying her way for some sneakers to come out. I remember that. I don't remember A'ja Wilson welcoming Caitlin with open arms like she's doing with Olivia and like she did with Paige. It's just so crazy how the person who's brought so much to the league right away gets no love, no praise, just hated for absolutely nothing from day one. I mean, Caitlin Clark was getting hated on from day one. They've done everything they can to turn fans against her. So much so, Caitlin Clark is being booed in the intros now. It's crazy.
This Dallas wing is...
They were literally booing. Seriously, how the hell do you boo the GOAT? That was one of the wildest reactions of the entire weekend. Whether you love Caitlin Clark or can't stand her, hearing boos rain down on someone who has changed the league this much is something nobody expected. It immediately sparked another round of debate, another round of arguments, and another round of people pointing fingers. A lot of fans believe this entire situation didn't happen in a vacuum. They think years of negativity surrounding Caitlin Clark have influenced how certain fan bases react to her. They argue that Kathy Engelbert has failed to calm the constant drama surrounding the league, while jealousy from some corners of the WNBA has only made things worse. Instead of celebrating one of the biggest stars women's basketball has ever produced, people seem determined to tear her down. The crazy part is, Caitlin Clark hasn't spent her time creating drama. She hasn't been starting public feuds every week. She hasn't been calling players out on social media. All she keeps saying is that she wants to play basketball. That's been her message from the beginning. She wants to compete, improve, and help the Indiana Fever win games. Yet somehow, every controversy eventually circles back to her name. Look at what happened recently. Some random guy in Texas who wasn't even a Caitlin Clark fan or an Indiana Fever fan sends Chelsea Gray a message. Reports say he's actually a Paige Bueckers fan and even a sports bettor. Somehow, though, social media twists the entire thing into another Caitlin Clark controversy. How the hell does that even happen? It's absolutely insane how quickly everything gets blamed on her, even when she has nothing to do with it. That's the frustrating part. The amount of hate, vitriol, and nonstop criticism Caitlin Clark receives has reached ridiculous levels. Every headline becomes about her. Every disagreement somehow becomes about her. Every conversation eventually points back to her. It doesn't even matter whether she's responsible or not anymore. Then there was the strange moment after the All-Star game. Instead of immediately putting the spotlight on Jonquel Jones, who many expected to be the center of attention, cameras ended up interviewing Caitlin Clark. Even Caitlin herself looked confused. You could almost read her expression saying, "Why are you talking to me? This should be Jonquel's moment." Jonquel Jones looked surprised. Olivia Miles looked like she expected an MVP announcement. The entire sequence felt awkward and unplanned. Meanwhile, cameras caught Angel Reese staring toward Caitlin Clark, and social media instantly exploded with screenshots, theories, and hot takes. Here's the thing, though. Rivalries aren't automatically bad. It's obvious Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have a competitive rivalry. Anyone watching basketball over the last few years can see that. They compete hard, they want to beat each other, they probably aren't going to be best friends. So what? Sports have always been built on rivalries. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird weren't exactly exchanging Christmas cards every week. Michael Jordan had rivals. Kobe Bryant had rivals. Tom Brady had rivals. Competition is what creates unforgettable moments. It's perfectly okay if Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark on the basketball court. It's perfectly okay if Caitlin Clark wants nothing more than to beat Angel Reese every single game. That's sports. What becomes a problem is when fans stop talking about basketball and start attacking someone's character. That's when everything goes off the rails. Healthy sports hate is one thing. Personal hatred is something completely different. Chicago Sky fans don't have to cheer for Caitlin Clark. Why would they? Indiana Fever has dominated that matchup recently. Fever fans aren't expected to cheer for A'ja Wilson either when she's beating their team every year. That's how sports work. You root for your team, you root against your rivals. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as people remember there's a line they shouldn't cross. One thing that also got people talking was the crowd reaction itself. Some fans claimed the arena audio sounded different depending on which player was introduced. According to people in attendance, Caitlin Clark, Jessica Shepard, and Aaliyah Boston didn't receive nearly as much crowd noise as expected. Others believe the broadcast lowered crowd audio during certain introductions before bringing it back for players like A'ja Wilson. Whether that's true or not is almost impossible to prove from television alone, but fans certainly noticed something felt different. Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers and Angel Reese reportedly received some of the loudest cheers of the night, which honestly shouldn't surprise anyone. Paige Bueckers has become one of the league's brightest young stars. She's incredibly talented. Fans love watching her play. The unfortunate part is that some people immediately try to turn Paige into the player who's supposed to take down Caitlin Clark. That's unfair. Paige deserves to build her own legacy without constantly being compared to Caitlin Clark every 5 minutes. She's an incredible player on her own. She doesn't need to become somebody else's rival just because social media wants another storyline. There were even lighter moments throughout All-Star Weekend. One funny interaction had Caitlin Clark joking that she almost wore white, but thought it would be too boring for All-Star Weekend, only for cameras to catch Paige Bueckers looking down because she was literally wearing white shoes. Those little moments actually showed personalities coming through, and fans loved them. At the same time, All-Star Weekend also highlighted something many people have noticed for a while. The league sometimes feels divided into different friend groups and different circles. You can almost see the separate cliques forming. Then, Jonquel Jones made comments that sparked another online firestorm. Honestly, what she said wasn't even that controversial. Athletes say things like that all the time. If you've ever won a game that maybe could have gone the other way, it's perfectly normal years later to admit your opponent probably deserved it. That isn't disrespect, that's honesty. Yet social media immediately attacked her for saying it. The same thing happened when people discussed the 2024 WNBA Finals. Plenty of basketball fans still believe the Minnesota Lynx deserved to win that championship. Others believe officiating played a huge role. People continue debating it today. That's sports. Fans argue about championships for decades. None of that changes history. The Liberty won the title, the debate continues, and that's fine. Coming back to Caitlin Clark getting booed, though, honestly, who cares? If opposing fans want to boo one of the biggest stars in the sport, they're allowed to do that. Every superstar gets booed somewhere eventually. It happens in every professional league. The only thing people should stop doing is pretending one arena is uniquely hostile while ignoring identical behavior elsewhere. If Gainbridge Fieldhouse gets criticized for booing opponents, then every other arena should be judged by the exact same standard. Consistency matters. At the end of the day, this entire conversation proves one thing more than anything else. Caitlin Clark remains the biggest talking point in women's basketball. Whether she's scoring points, making passes, getting interviewed, getting praised, getting criticized, or even getting booed, people simply cannot stop talking about her. Love her or hate her, she dominates the conversation. And that probably isn't changing anytime soon. Anyway, tell me what you think. Were the boos simply part of sports rivalry, or do you think the criticism surrounding Caitlin Clark has gone way too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more basketball coverage.